نعمة علي فلا أجازيه نحمده ونسبحه ونقدسه على آلائه ونعمائه ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له إلها واحدا أحدا فردا صمدا قيوما نؤمن له بالربوبية ونقر له بالعبودية من يهد الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وترحم على محمد وآل محمد كأفضل ما صليت وسلمت وباركت وترحمت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد وصل اللهم وسلم على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين والأوصياء والصديقين وعترة نبيك الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه المنتجبين عباد الله أوصيكم وأوصي نفسي بتقوى الله ولزوم أمره قال الله تبارك وتعالى في قرآنه المجيد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ يرفع إبراهيم القواعد من البيت وإسماعيل ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. I mentioned last week that every institution, every organization, every family, because the family is also an institution, the institution of family requires 4 foundations. For that institution to have a safe and healthy journey in this life, it has to be based on 4 pillars and 4 foundations. I mentioned 2 of them last week. The first one is the foundation of ikhlas. To be concerned always that God should accept my deed. God should accept this project. God should accept what I am doing to earn God's pleasure. Ridha Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we present our assignment to our professor, to our boss, we are worried whether this assignment is going to be accepted or rejected. And if it is accepted, what grade he is going to give me. Everything we do in this life is a project presented to God. Our professor, our Lord, our supervisor, our boss is God. Everything we do, every amal, every deed is a project that we present to Him. And then, therefore, we have to wait for His acceptance. We have to anticipate His acceptance. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا. When your work is for the sake of God, then definitely you have to know that you are a successful person. Definitely you have to be happy that God, when God accepts your project, your amal, your deed, your gift, your donation, whatever you do, then that is the real success. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. And God sometimes grades you with your intention, even if this intention did not materialize into deed. You have an idea in your mind, an idea, let's say, of helping someone, but then you could not fulfill this idea. You couldn't, for certain reasons. God says, you have gotten the grades. I have accepted that from you because I judge you through your intention. Niyyah. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. God looks at our intentions. We judge each other's with the exterior, with what we see in the exterior. But God does not look at the exterior. God looks at the interior. And the interior is the niyyah. What was your niyyah? How was your niyyah? How much dedicated you were in this intention? This is how you get your grade from God. Every amal you do, you present, my friend. Everything you do, for yourself, for your family, for your parents, for your community, for your neighbors, for your friends, always say, رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا. Anything you give, any step you take, anything you say to bring people together, always say, رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. I am presenting this work to you, and I'm awaiting the reward only from you. Even if my work goes unnoticed by people, I don't care. As long as it does not go unnoticed by you. تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا. This is number one for the success. Number two is وَجْعَلْنَا مُسْلِمَيْنِ لَكَ. The idea of submission to God. Many things in our life are hard to do, difficult to do. One of them is coming soon, fasting. Especially fasting during summertime, especially for those people who work. They begin their day from 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning. It's not easy to go with no food, no coffee, no tea, no drink, no cigarettes for some, of course, up to 8 p.m. It's not easy. But when you say, I am doing this for God, and God deserves this, I submit myself to Him. I submit. He asked me to fast. I'll do my best to fast. وَجْعَلْنَا مُسْلِمَيْن. Muslimain means me and my son. Make us submissive to you, but not to someone else. Submission to God only is the source of pride, source of honor, source of dignity in this life. When you only submit, only in front of God, before God, not before something else. وَجْعَلْنَا مُسْلِمَيْنِ لَكَ. Someone told me the other day that I cannot wear hijab. Asked me to do everything except hijab. I said, but how if God is saying, I don't accept anything from you, the only thing I accept from you is hijab? Would you listen to Him? She said, yes. If God says so, I would listen to Him. I said, this is submission then. Do it for the sake of God. Don't do it for the sake of yourself, your parents, your husband. Do it for the sake of God. God says, I want you to submit to me. Relegate your affairs to me. Listen to me. I'm not going to hurt you. When you listen to me, I'm not going to hurt you. This is the idea of faith. Al-Islamu huwa at-taslim. That is number two. Submission requires a strong will. Those who have a strong will in this life are going to be successful. Those who do not have a strong will, it's difficult for them to achieve success. Strong will. In quitting smoking, you need strong will. Quitting sins, strong will. Observing hijab, strong will. Giving donation, strong will. We need strong will. Then we will succeed. And then the third pillar, وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِنَا أُمَّةً مُسْلِمَةً لَكَ. Not only me, but my children too. I've said this many times. It's not enough for the father to be religious or practicing. Neither it is enough for the mother to be religious or practicing. The whole family has to be practicing. Your children, your grandchildren, your son-in-law, your daughter-in-law, everyone who is related to you, your cousin, your family has to be submissive to God. If one person in the family is practicing, the rest are not, that is not a good environment. The whole environment has to be pure. The whole environment has to be safe. So we need to focus on our children, my friends. I've seen in our community some parents, they give money to their children. They spoil them. When it comes to money, they are generous in giving them money. But when it comes to advice, they don't give them advice. When it comes to materialism, He throws birthday parties for them, graduation parties for them. He purchased fancy cars for them. But when it comes to advice, ethics, good advice, they don't tell them anything. They never ask their children, Baba, do you pray? Do you ever face the Qibla in your life? Or you want to spend your time partying in fun with your friends? They never ask their children, do you fast? The month of Ramadan is, have you experienced fast in your life? Have you experienced charity in your life? Are you an honest person? Do you speak the truth? They don't. This is not good, my friends. This is not a good way of raising your children when you are generous with them financially, but when it comes to moral issues, ethical issues, religious issues, you don't care about them. You don't bring them with you to the mosque. How many of the parents bring their daughters and their sons with them to the mosque? How many? 2%, 3%? Sometimes I've seen children, they come to the mosque. Their parents don't come. I've seen it in our community. The young generation, they come, but the mother doesn't come. The father doesn't come. Neither one is good. The family has to come. The whole family has to practice. The whole family, when Ramadan comes, the whole family has to enjoy the atmosphere of fasting, siyam, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, because it has good results for the whole family. It's not enough one member of the family works and the others do not work. رَبَّنَا وَاجْعَلْنَا مُسْلِمَيْنِ لَكَ وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِنَا. The prayers of Ibrahim was not just me and my immediate son Ismail. I need the whole generation to be submissive to you. مُسْلِمَيْنِ لَكَ وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِنَا أُمَّةً مُسْلِمَةً لَكَ. And then the fourth pillar, my friends. That is the ultimate request, not only of Ibrahim, but all of us. وَأَرِنَا مَنَاسِكَنَا. Show us our rights in this life. Manasik is rights. وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا. And relent unto us. Forgive us. This is our ultimate request from God. Ultimate request is to earn God's pleasure. رضا الله سبحانه وتعالى. God is happy with me. If God is happy with me, then everything is going to be happy with me. But if I have a problem with God, if I have a problem with God, definitely I am going to have a problem with my wife, with my son, with my neighbor, with my boss, with my friends. Let me solve the main problem with God. من أصلح فيما بينه وبين الله أصلح الله فيما بينه وبين الناس. When you fix your relationship with God, God is going to take care of your relationship with others. It is going to be fixed. One of the main reasons that we don't get along, because our relationship with God is broken, then it would reflect on our relationship with the people. وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا. Tawbah. How do we earn His pleasure? When we go back to Him. Tawbah means awda, return to God. The sin takes me away from Him. The repentance takes me back to Him. وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ. 4 foundations, 4 pillars of every institution. Number 1, ikhlas, dedication, taqabbal minna. Number 1, submission to God. Number 3, joining the rest of the family. Don't leave your children. Don't desert them. I know some parents have a problem with their children. The most difficult task in America is to raise a teenager. This is the most difficult task in this country. And in other countries too. But still, God says, go after them. Don't give up on your children. Your children are you. بُنَيْ وَجَدْتُكَ بَعْضِي بَلْ وَجَدْتُكَ كُلِّي. Imam Ali alayhi salam says to his son, Imam Hassan, you are part of me. Then he says, no, rather you are all of me. I'm not going to give up on you. And then number 4, tawbah, the return to God. The month of Ramadan is an opportunity that we go back to God. Sometimes we don't focus on our prayers. Sometimes we perform express prayers. Express, have you seen express food, express coffee? You go through the express lane. We do express prayers every day, believe me. It takes 3 minutes. Without muqaddamat, without beginning, without end, without ta'qibat, without tasbihat. Only 4 rak'ah, the fastest that we can. And then we think that I'm done. Alhamdulillah, I did my duty towards my God. This prayers is not going to benefit. It's not going to benefit. The prayers that benefits, that comes with a humility. الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. And to humiliate yourself and humble yourself before God, you have to take your time. You can't do an express prayers, fast prayers. There is no humility in fast prayers. Imam Ali saw the person who was doing fast prayers very quick. He said, أَمَا لَوْ خَشَعَ قَلْبُهُ لَخَشَعَتْ جَوَارِحُهُ. If his heart is humble, then his limbs are going to be humble too. The reason the limbs are not humble, we are hurrying because the heart is absent. The heart is somewhere else. The month of Ramadan is an opportunity to focus on our prayers. Take more time. Dhuhr, Asr, even Maghrib and Isha. Take some time. Do some nawafil. The night is an opportunity to stay away from television, from social media, to reflect, to read some dua, to read some Quran. Reflections on these du'as and Qurans. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين نحمده ونسبحه ونقدسه ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وترحم على محمد وآل محمد كأفضل ما صليت وسلمت وباركت وترحمت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. وصل اللهم وسلم على خلفاء نبيك وأوصيائه وأهل بيته وأحبته علي أمير المؤمنين وقائد الغر المحجلين وعلى البضعة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين وعلى سبطي نبي الرحمة وسيدي شباب أهل الجنة الحسن والحسين عليهما السلام وعلى علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي عجل الله تعالى فرجه وسهل مخرجه وجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه. عباد الله أوصيكم وأوصي نفسي بتقوى الله ولزوم أمره. 3 important events that took place during this week, and I am going to have a brief comment on them. Number 1, we condemn the attack on the innocent people in Sri Lanka that lost their lives in churches on a holiday, the Easter Sunday, and in some hotels. Almost 350 people lost their lives, among them women, children, elderly, worshippers. We condemn those who are behind this, not only ISIS, which is a Saudi organization driven by Wahhabi thoughts, but those who sponsor them, those who protect them. Thousands of ISIS were able to escape from Raqqa, Syria, under the watch of the American army. They allowed them to evacuate the city with their families. There are many governments that are sponsoring them. They are pitting the Christians against the Muslims. One day there is an attack in Christchurch by someone who calls himself white Christian against the Muslims. Another day there is an attack by a radical terrorist Muslim against the Christians, pitting them against each other. They enjoy seeing Christians killing Muslims, Muslims killing Christians. Let them get busy killing each other. And we sell them the weapon. We enjoy seeing families being shattered, countries being shattered, innocent people being killed, churches, mosques being destroyed. They enjoy this. Let's keep them busy. It's a conspiracy against the humanity. And the victims are ordinary people. They could be Muslims, they could be Christians, Catholics, others. We condemn this. I mentioned many times, I personally, Mustafa Al-Qazwini, consider an attack on any church is an attack on a mosque, Islamic mosque. Places of worship are respected and defended in Islam. وَلَوْلَا دَفْعُ اللَّهِ النَّاسَ بَعْضَهُمْ بِبَعْضٍ لَهُدِّمَتْ صَوَامِعُ وَبِيَعُ وَصَلَوَاتٌ وَمَسَاجِدُ يُذْكَرُ فِيهَا اسْمُ اللَّهِ كَثِيرًا. Places of worship are respected. We don't interfere in people's faith. This is their business. They want to worship God, ahlan wa sahlan. They want to worship someone else, ahlan wa sahlan. They have a free choice. We don't go and destroy their churches, their temples, their synagogues. They are respected in Islam. I myself, whenever I enter any cathedral, any church, I enter that place with honor and respect. I respect the place. That is the first. The second is we reject the new sanctions of this administration against Iran. This administration is not helping the people. This administration is only defending despotic regimes, barbaric regimes, like Saudi Arabia, like other regimes. They are not standing with the people. And these sanctions, renewed sanctions on Iranian oil, on Iranian people, is not going to hurt the regime. It's going to hurt the ordinary people of Iran, who have been suffering for so many decades. I've seen what sanctions did to Iraq. They placed sanctions on Saddam Hussein, but the people of Iraq went hungry. They starved to death. The people of Iraq did not have food or safe water to drink or medicine. At that time, where America and Europe placed their sanctions on Saddam, Saddam was busy building 80 palaces, 80 huge palaces throughout the whole country, from north to south, during that period of sanction. Can you imagine? It did not hurt him. Saddam and his cronies, his regime, did not suffer. The ordinary people suffered. Now the ordinary people of Venezuela are suffering from the American sanctions. Yesterday there was a report that thousands of people died in Venezuela because of the American sanctions. So people pay the price. Don't punish the people. This is not good. This is an act, a sheer act of aggression and injustice against the people of Iran when you place sanctions on them. And we reject that and we condemn that. Pompeo, you are wrong. Trump, you are wrong when you do this. The third event is the cruel and barbaric execution of 37 people 2 days ago in Saudi Arabia, in Hijaz. 33 of them, 33 of those who lost their lives were innocent followers of Ahl al-Bayt in the eastern province and the city of Medina al-Munawwara. One of them was 15 years old when they captured him. The other was 16 years old, juvenile. They were beheaded by the regime, a regime which is supported by this administration, a regime, barbaric, despotic, tribal, backward regime of Mohammed ibn Salman, which is supported and helped and encouraged by this administration here. This is a crime against humanity. The only crime those people had is that they asked for more freedom, more dignity, more human rights, more democracy. Is this wrong? Is this wrong to ask for more freedom? Intellectual freedom, religious freedom? The Shia people in Saudi Arabia, who make almost 20 to 25% of the population, are treated as second-hand, second-class citizens. First time I went to that region was 45 years ago. I witnessed when I was a child how those people are mistreated. 45 years ago, I witnessed firsthand. When I went to Qatif and Dammam and Tarut and Safwa and other cities, how they are mistreated. They have the oil underneath their feet, the entire oil of the kingdom. But they are the least people that benefit from that treasure. They are deprived. This is how they treat their citizens, because they differ with them in ideology. And by the way, I've said this many times, and I repeat this. The finest people among the Arab and Muslim countries in that region are the Shia of Saudi Arabia, are the Shia of Hijaz and Medina. The finest, the most noble, the most dedicated, the most sincere. And they have been tortured. Many of those, according to human rights organizations, they were tortured. Confession was extracted under torture with sham trials, fake trials. Those who killed Khashoggi are still at large. Can you imagine? Did you hear that they were imprisoned? They were punished? They are still at large. On the other hand, people who are honest, they want to build their societies, their homes. They don't have jobs. They don't have jobs. They are treated as second-class citizens in their own land, in their own soil. They are not foreigners. They are the original people of that land. They have to bear this barbaric treatment of Mohammed ibn Salman under the eyes and the watch of this administration. America has to redefine its relationship with those despotic regimes. Otherwise, we have to pay the price. America has to focus, rather than supporting Mohammed ibn Salman and Mohammed ibn Zayed and other despots, barbaric leaders, focus on your own problem here. Focus on education, healthcare, the homeless, the growing number of homeless people we have in this country, on the immigrants, the immigration issue, on crimes, on drugs, on the youth in America. This is what we have to tend to, not to support other dictators elsewhere. We strongly stand with those martyrs, shuhada, that left their families and their communities and left this earth. They went back to God. We stand with them, with their families, in solidarity. Their pain is our pain. We weep for those mothers who lost their innocent children just because they asked for more freedom, more democracy, more human rights. We stand with them, and we will stand with them. And my friends, let me conclude by saying, those of you who have been to Hajj one time or more in your life, you should not go to Hajj anymore. Those of you who have been to Umrah in the past many times, you should not go to Umrah anymore. I am responsible for what I am saying. I was a Hajj addict. I would get sick if I miss one season. I would really get sick and depressed. But I am happy and I am honored that I stopped going to Hajj for the last 4 seasons. Why? Because Hajj is being captivated and used and manipulated by Al Saud, this wicked family. I'm not going to support them anymore. I'm not going to spend a penny of my money in Mecca or Medina. So it is turned into weapons to kill the Yemenis, to kill the people of Hijaz, to kill the people of Bahrain, to kill the people of Libya and other places, or Syria or Iraq. I'm not going to contribute. If you have been to Hajj and Umrah, stop going. God does not want you to worship Him in the wrong way. When you worship God, worship Him in the right way. Don't support this regime. This regime has to be boycotted by all governments and all Muslims worldwide until they collapse, inshallah. One who did not believe that Saddam Hussein will go one day. He took 15 members of my family, including my grandfather, who was killed at the age of 82. 82. I didn't believe that during my lifetime I will see the downfall of Saddam Hussein. But God gives us a promise that don't lose hope. I promise you we will see the downfall of Al Saud, inshallah. And with them the downfall of all the corruption and mischief in the land, inshallah ta'ala. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna Allah ya'muru bil-'adli wal-ihsani wa ita'i dhil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal-munkari wal-baghi يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات تابع اللهم بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك غافر الخطيئات اللهم من على المسلمين بالوحدة والعافية والسلامة يا أرحم الراحمين وعجل في فرج سيدنا ومولانا صاحب العصر والزمان وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثواب الفاتحة مع الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على